You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
All right. Didn't expect this. All right, why not?
That's my shit.
Yeah, Johnny be good. Already.
It's not even 30
Already.
seconds. You're
We're like 17 seconds in.
If you want leads, we pick up in the woods of Monday.
I was going to try to make up for it by singing, which is not going to work at all. Welcome to the Raw After Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the government may shut down, but have no fear. No members of this house are leaving. We're showing up for work. I am Jonny Loquasto. Next to me, Cathy "Cupcake" Kelley. What's up, girl?
Hello, everyone.
You're like, is this salmon or pink or peach? What would you call this color?
I don't know. It's whatever they want it to be.
It's whatever the chat roll wants it to be. Tell Cathy what color she's wearing right now. Across from me are two guys that are wearing t-shirts of 9-year-olds, and I couldn't appreciate it more. Right there, that is at Showtime Josh Padgett.
Yeah!
Dressed like Superman. Looking more like Mission Impossible, because he's Tom Cruise. And next to him, now Dale Rutledge, the Walking Dale, you have a shirt with many different outfits of WWE superstars.
It looks like the paper doll cut-out version of this.
I'm not gonna lie, it's awesome. It's a little disturbing at the same time.
I like to walk that line, Johnny. I like to walk that line.
Walk the line. You do. You walk that line.
Which one do you want to be?
Oh, look at this. Look at these two. Look at these two go.
I want to be. You're a show stealer. Oh, you want to be The Rock?
If you're listening on iTunes, Dale's holding up his shirt and Josh is pointing to his favorite outfit. Yes. So that's why you need to watch us, because you miss that kind of action. It's only exclusively not on the After Show app.
They're so cute
but it's only on the show. I know.
Well, go to Hot Topic and buy the shirt yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't give away my secrets.
Wait, you didn't buy that hoodie as well? Just like your damn lapelled spiky jacket last week?
Not quite the same, no.
Okay.
Are we getting some more songs?
We got Johnny Cash now. Wow. All right. That's Stephen Lemieux, everybody. Killing it in there. Because we mentioned about walking the line. That's what I tried to get.
Quick. That was
yeah, it was.
quick.
Very quick.
He's always the one that says we go off topic, and there he is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, hashtag Rise Above Cancer for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Anyone who wants to battle cancer, we support you. WWE, anyone who has donated to Susan G. Komen, or any cancer foundation for that matter, it's a great cause, and we're glad to see that. Raw, coming you tonight from the state of Mississippi. MISSISSIPPI.
There it is. We go.
We should have had some applause after that. All right. Raw coming from the state of Mississippi. Starting off with CM Punk. Heading down to the ring. Once again, changing the look a little bit, right? New shirt.
Just a little scruffier.
Yeah, he's got it's a straight edge fist, but it's holding a fist full of arrows. And one of them's red.
After going through that table last week, I wouldn't shave either for a week, man. That looked painful.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Hunger Games is about to come out, so maybe it's a Hunger Games.
Playing on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
Good call, Dale. Good call. You're saying Punk is going to star in the next Hunger Games?
He will have to fight to live.
Yeah.
That is actually what Battleground is.
Do you have to update your shirt every single time someone gets a new shirt?
Oh, gosh.
Jennifer Lawrence got too expensive, so Punk's going to take over in Hunger Games too. All right, so Punk comes down to the ring, talks about how predictability is always an issue. He said, hell, I was in my hometown last weekend, and I got beat up. Of course that was predictable. Gets a nice pop from the crowd, but he says flat out that he's going to find a way to put Paul Heyman out of his misery tonight.
This man, I love Punk, and I love Heyman. And I love Bullyback. I love all of this.
Yeah.
I'm not too crazy about Axel at all. Really.
Well, I don't think Axel is either.
Yeah.
Because the title don't make the man makes the title. But yeah, this is it's been going on for too long, and I hate
what has been going on for too long? Heyman Punk?
This Heyman Punk thing.
I don't know about that.
It's dragging out. Okay. Every week Punk has to come out there, and you can tell he's not really behind this whole thing. Like, he doesn't really have a whole lot to say every week because there's not really a whole lot going on.
But if there's one guy that can go out with nothing to say and still make it sound incredible,
or these two,
it's Punk.
Both of them,
and Heyman,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm really not really interested in it at all.
I'm still invested.
I agree with Josh. Okay. I honestly think there are a couple storylines that I feel like have dragged on a little too long at this point, or they just need to freshen them up in some regard. I just don't know.
And I think the big issue with this is that it's Orton Bryan right now. So all the focus is on Triple H and Bryan and Orton, and it's like, all right, well, what do we do with our top guy, our other top guy? Cena's out. What do we do? What do we do with CM Punk right now?
Well, the thing is, you mentioned Triple H and Bryan. I mean, tonight, for example, Triple H had nothing to do with Daniel Bryan.
Exactly.
So it's very interesting, and we'll get to the main event of the pay-per-view, but I mean, I totally do see your point. I don't know what the universe out there thinks, but I mean, I'm still invested in anything Punk and Heyman have to do. I still think it's unfinished business, and who knows what's going to happen with this one. I honestly don't know which way this match is going to go between Punk and Ryback. We'll give our predictions in a little bit.
I think with the infusion of Ryback, it really kind of blossomed for me.
Absolutely.
I'm not over it yet. If it wasn't for Ryback, I might agree with you, but this weird chemistry of what's going on between Ryback and Paul Heyman and Punk.
But that's I think that's almost a separate storyline than the Punk-Heyman feud. It's him teaming up with Orton, and it's a completely new thing, and I kind of see that as separate from his feud with Punk.
Not Orton, you meant Ryback.
Ryback, yeah, sorry.
But, of course, Ryback's battling Punk, so to me, it is all the same storyline. I mean,
he saved him from...
without Ryback, what was Axel going to do? At this point, even they knew, they're like, look, Axel's he's not ready to be doing what they wanted him to do, so bringing in Ryback, who was already himself creating a character that was standing out, like no more Goldberg chants, thank God.
Yeah, tonight I didn't hear.
They tried. There were a few smarks out there trying,
but if you chant Goldberg, you're not even a smark anymore. You're just
being dumb. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
You're non-observant. You're not admitting the truth.
Like, funny. He was never interesting like this new Bullyback character. At least there's a character there.
Goldberg can go down, I think anyone would agree, as one of the most one-dimensional stars of wrestling history, really.
Yeah.
For a guy that had as much success as he did. Whereas Ryback's developing his own character, so anyone who doesn't want to still chant Goldberg, they're not smarks. They are flat out non-observant. They want to be dicks.
If it wasn't for that winning streak, he wouldn't really have a whole lot. Like, I don't know.
Jobbers after jobbers, that was the only. And I think WWE.com was making the comparison early on, and that was when people started trying it. So it's their fault. That's what even Ryback said in an interview this week was WWE.com were the ones who started
Throwing them under the bus.
Yeah, he threw them under the bus. He's like, I think my big issue probably is that unfortunately they can't have Brock Lesnar in this. They had him there in the beginning of it, and that's your biggest thing right there, him and Punk. And
that match at SummerSlam.
Those are the two those are his two biggest sons there. It's Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, and it's like that's Cain and Abel right there, all over again. And now you had to get rid of Cain, and now you just have him there. So it's like. Now we throw in Curtis Axel in there, and now we got new Ryback. So it's fine. You're giving two other guys, younger talents, something to do. But
I'm still into it. Like, I'm not necessarily missing the whole Lesnar thing, because that match at SummerSlam was so good that, all right, finished. But now with Ryback, I mean, the character he has, and then maybe Axel, maybe this will spin off into something where, like, Axel becomes that pissed-off sibling who, like, maybe that'll be a way to get him to that next level.
Yeah, I hope so. He needs something to do. He's pretty much just twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah, I don't think it's over.
Storyline.
I think after this Sunday, I don't think Punk, Heyman, Ryback is over.
And I'm worried about it if he does turn on Heyman. I don't know if the crowd's really going to be behind him unless he really is locked in with Punk.
Yeah.
Unless he's like locked in with Punk, like, I'm your man, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to help you out. There's no way people are going to be rooting for him.
For Axel?
Yeah, over Heyman.
I think you're right. I mean, if Axel does turn on Heyman and team up with Punk, it's going to have to be one of those where, like, Axel constantly screws up and Punk is trying to be patient with him. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, that could be something I think the crowd can get behind, because Axel does have that, like, that kind of face to where like you do want to kind of root for him. Yeah, he's not a mean guy. He's got that. Oh, well,
if they actually embrace that he messed up from time and time again, then maybe people would like him. I feel like they tried to put him over as like the most perfect person that's ever come into WWE, and it didn't work for him.
Well, that's his catchphrase, better than perfect. I mean, that's what he was using for a while.
If they could play on that, like, I'm trying to live up to my dad, who's Mr. Perfect.
That you're not.
Yeah.
Not perfect.
And that's why he always struggles.
I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean, like, stay true to who you are. And,
you got to be true to who you are. And obviously, Axel is not his dad, and he wants to make his own character in his own right. So why not have him go some different route to maybe he's trying to be his dad and he keeps failing? And something to that extent. I don't think it's over yet. I'm still invested in it. I'm not tired. I see what you're saying. Every week it is hard to come up with something new. But
and have like a Miz, a heel Miz, like cut a promo on him during that time, like, you're not your dad, you're just a screw up, you're as imperfect as they come, and have him live up and like beat Miz or something. Like, that would be great. You need to do something with that if he's gonna have his face turned. But he's got a lock on to Punk if that's gonna happen.
Through the couch on Miz TV or something.
You know,
do something with the couch. No one ever sits down. They have all that furniture and no one ever sits down.
Why even bother?
It's the same couch from the VIP lounge, for Christ's sake. I mean, let's come on now.
I tell you what, though, Ted DiBiase Jr. suffered from the same exact problem. They tried to have him live in his father's footsteps. They even gave him the belt that his father had, and it just was a mess. Well, you can't relive it. You can't.
Nothing like. I mean, they don't even remotely look the same. I mean, if you look at it, Axel and his dad and DiBiase and his dad, none of them look alike. It's amazing how different they look. And the thing is, with someone like Ted DiBiase, he has one of the more unique voices and the most unique laugh possibly in pro wrestling history. I mean, you can't live up to that.
One of the things that I commend about the Rhodes family is that they're all different. They all have their own characters, and it works. And that's why all of them are successful in their own right.
Yeah. And a big problem with DiBiase Jr. was that, he's a country bumpkin. And he was trying to play like the millionaire. Like, nowadays, those country bumpkins that wear the camo hats, they're not seen as like millionaire playboys. He should have, if he could have changed, his accent and really played on the thing. Like, yeah, my dad's the $1 Million Man. I didn't grow up like him. I don't have a Southern accent. I'm not a country good old boy.
Yeah. Exactly.
That could have worked, but he couldn't do it. He didn't do it.
So he says he's going to put Heyman out of his misery tonight, and then out comes Brad Maddox to no music, as if
you don't even have an entrance song.
Yeah, come on, man. Like CM Punk says. Yeah, he comes out, runs down to the ring, and Punk says, "Hey, I want an outlet for my aggression." And then, guy we haven't seen in weeks, we get that weightlifting music. That
I got 5.
Yeah. That powder music. That powder music. Whatever this thing is.
That. Love it.
Do some squats.
Did he do the powder thing tonight?
No. He came out there with a microphone.
But I just did that now, so we're good.
It got me excited. So.
Big E Langston comes out into the ring and flat out says, he goes, "You want aggression? I'm your man." Nails him with the microphone, attacks him, and then, of course, Punk goes back and forth. We now have a match, and that's pretty much how we start off Monday Night Raw.
First time a microphone to the head didn't make a noise. I was very sad about that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
He actually hit him with, like, the block.
Yeah.
It's like, that hurt more.
Yeah. Have you ever been actually hit in the head with a microphone, the butt of the microphone? I made myself bleed twice, actually, by doing it myself.
That stand-up night?
To yourself?
Early on, I'd say 2 or 3 years into stand-up, I had a bit where a lot of comics like to do so I had this bit for like 2 weeks where, like, when I was really young and naive and stupid, where I had a bit where, like, the punchline was, I was like, and like I knocked the microphone on my head, and then I got off stage, I'm like, oh, I'm bleeding. That bit's never being done again. So I tried it twice. I'm like, so yeah, I mean, it does hurt. I know that thing's foam, so maybe it doesn't, but Big E didn't really nail it with him.
You're a bleeder.
Yeah, I know, I am a bleeder.
The hard way.
God almighty. But the match starts. There's a good back and forth, but the whole time you wonder, this is Big E Langston's first time back in a while. Maybe this will be a cool thing that maybe get him over. But Punk, for the first time in a long time, nails the elbow drop, follows up with GTS for the win. We have not seen that combination for a victory in quite a long time from Punk.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to take away from the fact that this was a solid opening match.
Sure.
And have Big E off TV for a month or more. I'm not
kind of
exactly
had to,
sure.
because AJ went her own way. I mean,
and Caitlyn was gone. So, I mean, that whole storyline just kind of like...
Yeah,
that was a huge. I think that was a big mistake. I love the 3 of them together. I thought it was great, but Dolph was picking up steam, and then unfortunately the concussion. But yeah, ever since then, Big E's just been kind of MIA.
And I really think people want to root for Big E.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that they brought him back as a heel. I thought, if anything, this was going to have him come back as a stronger babyface.
I'll protect you from Ryback, and it'll be Ryback versus Ryback.
Wow, there it is.
Wow. That'd be awesome.
That's right.
That both were nowhere.
Both wearing singlets.
That's one of his nicknames he likes on Twitter. People were like submitting nicknames. He was like, I prefer Ryback or Chuck Lesnar.
Wow.
It's awesome.
It's funny when he says it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no,
I like it.
It doesn't work.
I like it when you say it.
Says, you know.
I like it when you say it. I'm just not going to admit it. Well, I just did.
You might want to work on that.
Yeah. So Chuck Lesnar loses to the GTS. Who knows? I mean, maybe Big E will turn this into something. But it was interesting to see him come back. Just like that.
And this has been a trend for Punk when he's a face, is like when he's about to go up against a bigger guy, they usually give him on Raw a Brodus Clay or a Mark Henry when he's about to face a Big Show or Ryback, one of the big guys, and he'll go over him to show him, hey, listen. Oh, it was The Rock. When he was about to face The Rock at the Royal Rumble, he took out Brodus Clay, who are similar in
I think he
weight.
had a clean win there too, right?
Yeah, a clean win on Brodus, yeah.
I don't know. I would have liked to see E Langston used for something else. I mean, but who's going to come out?
It's good to see him back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm glad to see him back in any capacity. I think that he's one of the few guys that was brought up in this last year that can make a name for himself.
Sure.
As, without an extra person being there.
Yeah, and I mean, viewership always spikes, at the beginning of the show, at the top of the next hour, yada yada.
Yeah.
So they want to get him seen. So if anything, I take that as a good sign that they're not. I mean, this is a match.
Yeah, they didn't send.
But
They didn't
He was
send
even
sweet tea
trending
out
at
there or
one point,
anything.
so the fact that Big E was trending worldwide is a big deal.
Yep.
He's great. And he seems so light out there. Not a lot of big guys can move around like that. He's really good.
Yep.
Well, he's not being weighed down by tights on his legs. We know that much because there's nothing.
Oh, that must be what it is.
Yeah.
Mobility.
Yeah.
I need freedom, man. I need freedom.
Them quads and upper thighs are wide open.
I'd love to see him be like Brad Maddox's guy. Like, listen, like I'll be your muscle.
Yeah, because
Like,
Maddox
I'll
is
take
always
care of
getting
you.
beat around, and he'd be, oh, that's nice.
And he can just stand back there and be like, and they're both funny guys.
Those two together
would have great comedy too with each other.
I don't think they want to take Big E in the comedy route, though, even though he seems like a really funny guy.
Eventually, they got to do it.
Yeah.
Because it comes out. Like, my favorite moment was when he was like, when he was back there with AJ and Dolph.
Well, the thing is, he could go the funny route and then still turn into a monster.
Yeah.
So with Brad Maddox, the comedy's always generally going to be coming from Maddox because you don't know what he's going to say or how he's going to. His English language is backwards half the time, and so I think with that would be a great combination because Maddox really has no one and is constantly he's getting just pushed around.
He's getting pushed around.
Which we'll talk about just a little bit because he didn't get pushed tonight. He got lifted.
He did.
Ooh, yeah.
Big
That
time.
did not look comfortable.
Got lifted. So after the Punk win, we go to commercial. Coming back with Fandango wearing a nice, I said it wrong, Fandango wearing a nice pink shirt over his dancing outfit, coming out with Summer Rae. And we are about to have a match between him and Kofi, but there was something that JBL said that I think we have to talk about.
Oh boy.
As he's dancing, JBL goes, "Man, look at this Fandango. He's like Usher and Randy Couture." Now, I'm all for comparing people and mishmashing. How could
I don't know.
Usher and Randy, could there be two lesser people that Fandango's like ever in life? Usher's not a ballroom dancer.
Not a ballroom dancer.
Randy Couture is not a pro wrestler. Nor is he. Randy Couture is bald. Fandango's not. Usher is a different pigment. I don't know. It's
Slightly,
like he
yes.
might as well just said, "Oh man, this Fandango's a mix of Liza Minnelli and Kimbo Slice." It would have been the same thing.
But actually made a little bit more sense.
Possibly.
Liza Minnelli. She does, Broadway jazz hands.
See?
Fandango, yeah.
And
Definitely not an Usher style of dancer.
No.
No.
And Kimbo Slice maybe has a leg drop in him. I don't know.
It's possible.
But it was entertaining. So regardless of why JBL pulled it off, whether he thought of it in the moment or actually planned it, it got a rise out of me, and that's all that matters. When you're an announcer, if you get people talking about the match and about the characters, I guess that's all that matters.
Well, that's because you're like a mix of Terry Crews and Betty White.
Oh, you son of a! Yeah!
Oh,
That's right.
Well done.
I just wear my underwear. We must protect his house! That's not Terry Crews at all. It's just another massive athlete.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
He Old Spice commercials. That's what he
Oh,
does.
yeah, Terry Crews. How do you not love Terry Crews? Big guy. Big fan.
guy.
The big guy. All right, so we have Fandango and Kofi Kingston. Solid match with these two, of course. Of course it's going to be. Kofi's involved. Fandango's always entertaining. But Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise for the W. What are your thoughts on this one, guys?
Dango chickened out a little bit on that kick. I don't think he wanted to have like what Miz. I don't think he wanted a scar on his face like Miz. He really dropped really early.
At least he stayed in for the finish.
But
yeah, he stayed for the whole match. That's an accomplishment for him.
Dance away.
I want to see more with Kofi. So far this year, the only character development he's had is that he had a baby and he wears long pants now. Like, we don't know anything that's going on with him. He's winning matches.
He's winning.
He had a great match last week against ADR.
Which tells us, I'd like to think that means there's some bigger things in the horizon for Kofi, because, like, I think we all agree he's got a character. He's a kind of dude that is likable enough, but also cool enough to where fans aren't going to turn on him.
Yeah.
And he's athletic, and he always pulls off these crazy, like every year in the Rumble, he does some ridiculous stunt.
Oh man, yeah.
And you know, a couple years ago when he beat up Orton's car and like stood over him after Orton was laid out, I mean, Kofi's got that in him. It'd be great to see him feud with maybe Axel. I don't know, but Kofi needs to be doing something.
Yeah.
Apparently, our amazingly brilliant idea for a cup of Kofi was already used.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
We had a lot of people tweet us and comment on YouTube that unfortunately they came up with the concept a couple years ago.
Who did? WWE?
WWE came up with the concept.
Well, they're not smart enough to hold on to it.
That's the 1000th episode of Raw.
Yeah.
Really? All right. I mean, you watch so much.
It was very brief. They should have prolonged it a lot.
Do you think Sam Fines just pulled like that logo off the internet somewhere?
No.
Or he really put that together?
It was just a bag. He pulls out like a bag of coffee from the cupboard or something.
Yeah, and it says Kofi coffee, and then Sheamus has ginger tea.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Cup of Kofi.
Look, when I came up with it, I didn't think I was. I didn't think I was creating a masterpiece. It was in the moment. And it was fun to run with, but I'm not shocked that it was used before. But I mean, you know, our listeners and viewers are extremely observant and have much better memories than we all do.
I used to think I invented, you know, when you take a straw and you dip it in and then put your finger over the top.
You thought you invented that?
When I was a kid, I was like, dude, like, no one showed me this. I made this up. Like, no one knows how that this can be done.
You're like, how does Mr. Wizard not know? That's a really old reference. That might even be before your time.
Yeah, I was just laughing.
Okay.
Oh, that's so polite.
Mr. Wizard was a dude on Nickelodeon back in the day. Don't worry about it.
I know Stick Stickly. Remember him?
No, I don't.
I know Dorothy
That's after your time.
You son of a...
Why was Kofi one of the few people to not have a shirt made for himself? He had just the WWE. Him and Hornswoggle just had WWE logos.
Maybe they weren't planning on having them out tonight?
Yeah.
Well, did Hornswoggle ever have a shirt, though?
No, but Kofi's had several. So
and Kofi shouldn't be in the same
that's what I'm saying.
company as Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Colleen just went naked to the ring. He
didn't even screw press. They didn't have enough.
He didn't understand. What are you talking about? I'm not wearing pink.
They don't have enough pink to fit him. That's a good point, though.
It was weird. I don't know. Just something that bothered me randomly. I obviously have an outfit situation going on today, so.
I wish I would have wore pink. I didn't even know that was happening tonight.
Oh, mine is pink. It's not salmon.
Kathy's supporting.
Technically, yeah, now it's pink.
Looking salmon.
It's actually peach, Kathy. All right, so Kofi with the Trouble in Paradise. We'll see what's going to be down the road for him. Maybe something nothing at the pay-per-view because R-Truth wants Axel. So
yeah, R-Truth is before Kofi. I don't understand.
Why is R-Truth getting this huge push?
Let's not call it huge.
Well, I mean, you know.
I'm always
an push right now.
Look,
this man was in the WWE running like 2 years ago.
I'm sorry, I'm an R-Truth guy. With what he pulled off a couple years ago, you know, when Jimmy comes marching home, all that stuff, he's got it in him. It's just not his place right now to be doing all that stuff. So I'm an R-Truth guy. I know hasn't been winning a whole lot, and now all of a sudden he's gotten a few matches in him, but...
Yeah, like, because if R-Truth faces him at Battleground, he's not going to... He probably won't win. If Kofi goes, it's going to be a big deal if Axel beats Kofi, because, you know, there's a hierarchy there.
I think that might be something building between Kofi and Axel.
Yeah.
So don't just throw it together for Battleground.
He'll make Axel look good, too.
Absolutely.
And I think Axel's you know, it's just we haven't seen it yet, but
he could do a perfect flex.
I think he'd be a great like Seth Rollins support guy and make people go over really well. You know.
Remember when Axel wrestled for the belt? Me neither.
No, me neither.
When was that?
He didn't even. Yeah.
That's awesome though for him to be holding the IC title that long, just walking around with it. That's pretty. Speaking of which, I forgot to get my title. I need to get my title.
You're the worst.
This is the final show before the pay-per-view.
You've never brandished it, yeah.
And I know Rosenberg was.
Rock.
I know Rosenberg was talking mad smack on me during SmackDown, which I will respond.
No. We were told by Christian that he was talking smack because none of us watched the SmackDown after show.
So I didn't catch it, man. I didn't catch it.
We'll watch
We were
SmackDown.
too busy watching Netflix for 13 hours on our couch on Sunday and not watching the SmackDown after show.
I watch SmackDown on my own and give myself my own after show because it's much better.
Whoa, we don't need to hear about your after show.
I do want to take a little time to talk about the second best wrestling show on AfterBuzz TV.
Oh yeah, it's a solid B+ show.
Go ahead, Cathy.
3 hosts, amazing chemistry.
Who are the 3 hosts?
And then let's talk about the SmackDown after show, the third best wrestling show on AfterBuzz TV.
Man.
Well, let's start off with number 2, the B+. Let's start off with the B+ show, NXT.
The NXT show, it's new, it's getting better
Who's on
every
it?
single week.
Who's on it?
Klum, myself, Alex Kozlov.
Solid.
Amazing show. I mean, talks about all the new wrestlers who are coming up into WWE. You should definitely follow it.
You had the hobo one last week.
Good friend of mine, great guy.
It's a lot of fun.
Now, Klum, of course, kind of abandoned this show, but luckily for us, we're already an A+ show.
Yeah.
So we're okay. Now,
Fans enjoy it
SmackDown.
every single
SmackDown,
week.
is that, who's on that show besides Rosenberg?
I don't know.
Okay.
We should look that up.
It's
Is it on the web?
Isn't it, there's a black dude on it, right?
I got
Romor.
I got an iPad. I'm just going to look it up real quick.
All right, do it. Well, speaking of Kofi, though, while he's in the ring after his win, all of a sudden the lights go out and you know something's about to go down. The Wyatt family. Actually, not even the Wyatt family. Just Bray Wyatt.
I saw the floating lamb mask in the background there.
Okay.
So I know
was
at
he
least
there?
Rowan was there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was there.
Or
He
someone
comes
in
down to
his
the
mask.
ring, and it stays dark. And you're thinking, oh, no, Kofi's going to just be a sacrificial lamb again. But no. Bray Wyatt, another classic 30 seconds where he basically says, like, my whole life was nightmares, man. My nightmare never ended. And then I realized what I was supposed to do. One by one, they will all fall down. Follow the buzzards. Commercial.
Creepily.
You won't fall down, but
On point.
others will.
Yeah, that was really good. I think he
Arrive.
really nails these.
I'm a voiceover actor too, guys. Anyways,
Well done. Well done.
thank you.
I love that people are finally getting their cell phones out when it's pitch black.
Started
and,
seeing
like,
it.
waving them around.
To the music.
It needs to catch on. Commercial break at the least opportune time.
Yeah, it seemed weird.
It makes you wonder, though, he doesn't do anything to Kofi. So is this going to be, is Kofi just an example, or are they targeting him? Because maybe this could be something else Kofi might be getting involved in. We got options here. What do you think the reason for him approaching Kofi was? Do we even know? Is there any guess?
I mean,
There was a spot open on the line.
I don't know.
Obviously not a lot of time because they were like, all right, we're gonna just do the lantern and leave. You know.
I would like to think it'd be something leading up to him. I mean, that would be something for Kofi to do, to be a part of the Wyatts. I mean, that would be pretty awesome. But we still haven't seen Kane yet, so I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Kofi would be an interesting addition, to say the least.
He's such a baby face, you know.
Yeah,
And
but
he doesn't have.
I mean, that would show how much power the Wyatt family had and how they were able to brainwash someone, but I just don't want to see him go there.
Yeah.
He could just be another guy that gets beat up.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I like how we don't know.
But he didn't get beat up tonight.
No, he did not, but I do have a feeling we're going to see the Wyatt family this Sunday at Battleground. They obviously do not have a match, but I have a feeling...
Well, we don't know if they have a match because
Well.
WWE seems to add matches last minute to pay-per-views.
Fair enough.
So.
Fair enough.
Two last month.
And I think it may happen again this time around. But I think we're going to see the Wyatt family. The question is how and what kind of impact are they going to have, setting us up for... I don't know. Hell, it's already October. We have one more pay-per-view, then we got Survivor Series, and then, yeah, so...
So wait, when is the Survivor Series the next one?
No, there's another one in October.
Oh, you just said that. Sorry. TLC.
so.
No, TLC's in December. Shucks, guys.
Maybe it is Survivor.
A lot of pay-per-views to keep track of. Bottom line is, I think the Wyatt family is going to have something big at Survivor Series, so maybe this Sunday will be a setup for it.
But if there is one in late October, Halloween would be a perfect time to have Kane come back. You know, he's got that movie
That's
that's
a good
scary. I mean, the Wyatts are all
Click on the
villains.
shows right there.
That would be a great point.
So, I mean, I think it
There
would
it
be
is.
cool to...
Hell in a Cell?
And I think we talked last
Hell in a
week.
Cell, then
Hell in a
Survivor
Cell, then
Series,
Survivor
then
Series, then
TLC.
TLC.
And I think we talked last week about how awesome it would be if Kane took off the lamb mask and you're like, oh my God, it's Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween,
Halloween.
That's gonna happen.
That's
best
costume.
reveal time ever.
That is a costume. So we go to commercial. We don't know what the Wyatt family's going to do, but I think we're going to see him this Sunday. We come back from commercial. Backstage, we have the Bellas basically just talking about, the fact that her and Brie and Daniel Bryan got engaged, which everyone's incredibly happy about. Yeah. Sisters are happy about it. And once again, the creepazoid bully slash high school jock, Randy Orton, comes up and says, hey, congratulations, Brie. Tell me, when's the big day? When's the marriage gonna happen? Wait, before you tell me the day, let me tell you this. You might want to get that marriage happen before Battleground, because if you don't, I don't think Daniel Bryan's gonna be able to walk down the aisle. And he storms off.
Randy, the sexual predator.
Yes.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's still not as creepy as Fandango, but then when Fandango comes out, it's funny.
Yeah. Randy's like, ooh, that might really. Randy might not know there's a camera in front of him. Like that's that level of creepy.
He was so this whole thing with Brie was the most awkward thing.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm getting my title.
He had
you
to
keep
do
talking.
like 3 or 4 lines in order to explain, because at Battleground, your little fiance might not make it because he won't be able to walk. Because I'll cripple him. Do you get it? I'm going to hurt him really bad is basically what I'm trying to say. It's like, I got it. Like, he could have done that in 2 lines,
Yeah, he's not the best.
Where did Johnny go?
But this has
he
been
went to go get his title.
Oh.
BRB.
Oh,
BRB.
Okay.
Good man.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Brandish it at least once.
The champ
before you
has
might
his
lose
title.
That's right, guys.
Must be WrestleMania, right?
I got my title. I'm going to enjoy it because I have no idea what's going to happen at Battleground. So, look, I'm confident, Christian Rosenberg, but you need to see this. This is as close as you're going to get to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Christian Rosenberg, I didn't know this, but today is officially his 8th anniversary of being involved in professional wrestling.
Oh, wow. What's he done?
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that because I did a lot of research on Christian Rosenberg, and after 8 years in the business, judging by his performance on the SmackDown After Show every week, he's already given up. So that's a good thing.
Oh,
so congratulations, Christian Rosenberg.
It was a good run, buddy.
My title, baby.
You did stuff.
All right. So what did I miss, guys?
In the garden.
So talking about Randy Orton being creepy.
Oh, yeah. Orton creepy.
Yeah.
That's as far as
Brie not happy about it. All right, Renee Young is now backstage. Renee Young getting a lot of airtime tonight. Backstage with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman calls Punk a nobody, and he says he forgot what made us the best in the world. And then Renee, classic quote, she goes, but Paul, I see Ryback standing right around the corner, and I see Curtis Axel hiding behind equipment.
Why did we not get a cutback shot of him like,
like the repo man, like with a little mask on? Like,
This is so weird, though. Like, we had to listen to it twice.
Yeah.
It was just
We're like,
so
he's hiding behind equipment.
I didn't know. I was like, wait, is Curtis Axel stealing a PA right now? Like, what's happening?
I pictured him just eating like animal crackers. Like, are you ready, boss? Are you ready?
No. Where's my title? Oh, there it is.
A little meerkat popping his head up. But if Renee Young can see him, how is CM Punk going to be fooled by this? Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, okay. Just have Renee Young follow you around.
That should be on the app. Is just a whole entire commercial break of just a camera on Axel hiding behind equipment.
It might have been. We just can't see it.
I feel like it was a good point. I feel like it was like a bigger something. They were like, okay, make sure to mention XXX, and she's like, something. Okay, he was hiding behind equipment. I guess I'll say that. I don't know. It just felt very odd that she brought
We've seen
that
him
up
hiding
at
behind
all.
equipment. Yeah.
I loved it. Flat out loved it. Anyway, she said, are you setting a trap for CM Punk? And Paul Heyman says, everything I do is a trap for CM Punk. He can go ahead and try and do whatever he wants, but nobody is ever going to touch Paul Heyman ever again because he has his new life partner, which we'll get to. Ryback.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. Oh, it only got more beautiful as the night went on. And then we have a Los Matadores vignette, which makes us all excited because tonight's the night. We finally, after weeks and weeks of promotion, weeks of waiting, we get to see the 2 greatest bullfighters in the history of bullfighting. Wikipedia'd that. They're coming.
Highly anticipated.
Yeah, highly anticipated. We see the vignette, and as we come back from commercial, we see 3MB in the ring. So we knew it was about to happen. Because who else is gonna wrestle a debut tag team other than 3MB? The music hits. The smoke clears. Los Matadores, Fernando and Diego appear. with the what are they called? The things.
The little capes.
The cape what are they called? The things.
The little capes.
The cape curtain thingies. I should have known that.
Really pushing the Olay thing too. They have
Yeah.
a big text of Olay on the screen,
Like in case
and
you
with
forget.
the chants going through the speakers.
Absolutely.
Olay, say it, please.
Absolutely. So we think it's just them two, and then they start to do a little bit of a synchronized dance together, and they hold up the capes. And I'm like, what's going to happen here? There's no way they have a real bull. Well, I was mistaken.
Smoke starts to build.
Smoke starts to build up. Is there an angry bull coming? What's going to happen? It is it's a man bull. Guys, man bull runs through the capes.
And not a little. I mean, not a dwarf. Not a little person.
Certainly not a
I mean,
minotaur.
it's a little person. It was. But he was proportioned. It wasn't like Hornswoggle.
It's a miniature tar. A minotaur.
Minotaur. Mini-tar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had a nice big bull mask with horns and the nose, the Lou Albano nose ring.
It was a really cool mask.
cap.
It was like a luchador mask with the bull horns.
And he jumped around the corner, jumped around the ring, jumped around the corner, and then dodged the capes again a few times. I'll give the Matadors credit. They're real bullfighters because that bull didn't hit them one time.
That's right. They are good.
They
They didn't lie
remain
about their ability.
unscathed.
Yep.
And so at that point, the match was almost
Overshadowed?
a little bit because we're all sitting there shell shocked.
There's really is a little man out there
Yeah.
in a bull outfit.
There's a little man bull, little bull man.
I will say that it was.
Please say something because I don't know. I don't know what to say. I really don't.
It was a very interesting way to bring it
Dale.
out. I think maybe we just need some time to adjust because there was so much build up to this.
Yeah.
I think that we had all expected something.
And the vignettes
this
were
was-
they were so
The
good.
vignettes were great. I mean, everybody's being like gorged or what? Gored?
They were gorging themselves on Matadores.
Gourd is the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was like just a
squashy
Boston
thing.
cream pie of Matadores, just gorging on these
I think
vignettes.
gourd, though, with bull horns.
You were
Yeah.
gourd.
Yes.
Oh,
That
that
is what
kind of
he's getting
gore. I
at,
thought you meant
yeah.
gorging, like you're eating too much Matador. I would have been down.
Gorging
Okay.
on the goring.
Fair enough.
Yeah. This was not Fandango.
No.
It was
No.
not Fandango. No one stood up. No one was excited. And I think a big thing, they did it wrong.
Okay.
You put them against 3MB. Like, we're not, I mean,
It was
we're
also
not going to be worried about
Mississippi. It wasn't a good place to debut them, I
I
don't
bet you
think.
should have done a more Spanish, Hispanic
It doesn't
area,
have to
maybe
be
Texas.
that. It just
I
takes
don't-
Texas would have been great. San
like-
Antonio would have been awesome.
I don't know if there's a one Latino in Mississippi. I will be honest with you.
Nope.
If there are any,
Well, yeah.
let us know.
It should have been real Americans out there talking trash,
Right.
And have them come out and save the day and do an awesome match because these guys, it was a little slow, but they had Primo and Epico were very boring characters. These guys in the ring tonight had a lot of style to their moves. It was great. They even had a tag team finish.
Sure.
Which was great.
Well,
It was
that's
a strong
awesome.
finish.
It was a
basically
finisher that I've
a-
never seen before either. A double Samoan drop. Type
Which
thing.
maybe we can call the double Olay and drop. How about that?
It wasn't very luchador-y, though,
Well,
the finisher.
Yeah.
Well, they went around and.
they're Spaniards.
But I
They're
don't
not
think.
Mexican.
Yeah, I don't think they
little
advertised.
different.
They didn't advertise as luchadors. They advertised as matadors.
So can we talk
That's a
about
Matador style.
for a second why I think they
Boom.
rushed this premiere of the Matador?
Please do.
Well, go
'cause I
ahead.
like it.
Are you about to pull behind the fourth curtain or whatever that
I mean,
phrase is?
we've talked about this before. Maybe we've talked about it more on the NXT After Show. But Sami Zayn, incredible talent, used to be El Generico, got signed by WWE, is in developmental right now at NXT. They want to bring him up to the main roster. Only problem is his old gimmick of being El Generico comes with the Olay chants.
Okay.
And so they are trying to get rid of that. They're trying to squash it before he comes to the main roster.
Squash his.
The Olay chant.
For him, though.
For him.
Right.
So they are trying to give it to Los Matadores and hoping that it catches on there.
And I don't like that. I think why go against something that's working? I understand from a corporate standpoint.
But Sami Zayn
we own Sami Zayn. We don't own El Generico. That's like the big card that CM Punk has always had. He's like, look, if I'm going to come in there, I'm CM Punk. I'm not going to be Phil Brooks or whatever you want to call me there. So it's like they own John Cena. They own The Undertaker. It's like, but they don't own CM Punk. They can't own Bryan Danielson. So they said, you're Daniel Bryan now. Right, and you probably heard that from Clum on NXT, right? And that's what they're doing with Generico, and I hate that because I really want Generico to show up at some point. Like, my biggest dream is to have Sami Zayn versus ADR.
He's had so many dark matches, and he's been at so many house shows recently that they're going to bring him up.
And everyone chants, ole, 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 ole.
It's not going to go away, but they don't want it to be associated for the fans that don't know about it.
But, of course, Sami Zayn has nothing. Like, the Sami Zayn character is remotely not even close to El Generico.
No.
I mean, it's basically a Canadian guy who also has a Middle Eastern background, I believe.
Yeah.
I think he speaks Arabic or something. No, I don't know.
He's just a very charismatic guy.
Okay.
Like
in the ring. I don't like him on the mic as Sami Zayn. I've never heard Generico cut.
I
mean,
like
he was
him on the mic as Sami Zayn. He's just like, he's very suave. He's more like himself. He's a normal guy.
He's a laid-back dude.
Yeah.
He's not...
He doesn't have a character.
No, he's like laid back as RVD. He's very like not duty, but he's very laid back on the mic. Like, oh, how's it going? Oh,
He
I'm just
made
gonna
Renee
go.
Young blush.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think that was intent. Like, he has got
Good,
some.
Sammy.
Yeah.
He's very charismatic.
I just feel like that's a lot of work to get rid of a chant. You think they would create an entire new character and hire a bull man for getting rid of?
I mean, I think they were going to repackage them. I think they were going to repackage them regardless. But I think that this kind of helped. They were like, oh, well, let's just steal this and put it with them.
Even JBL was chanting during
They
like
did
the
it
hot finish.
non-stop because they want it to catch on.
I just love the seriousness of Dale's question when he goes, do you think they would hire 2 matadors and a bull man?
Like, just, we need a bull man.
I mean, so
make it happen.
Once Sami Zayn comes to the main roster and someone breaks out in an Olay chant because it's inevitable, then JBL could just be like, oh, well, I don't know why they're chanting for.
Got a lot of Matador fans.
Matadores. Well, we're seeing Sami Zayn against whoever, but.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
It's
tough.
very, very hard to control what 18,000 people are gonna do.
Yes.
Especially in every heel favored town, they're gonna be the smarky towns, right? They're gonna be like, no, we're gonna chant away. We know what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times does it kind of ruin the experience when people start shouting McGillicuddy when Axel comes out? It's the same kind of thing.
Oh, when they were doing that Husky Harris crap, that was pissing me off
You
too.
want to get lost. Like, you want to mark out, and you're not going to get that if you're reminded of a past character that the person once was.
Generico characters just so, like, Husky Harris wasn't that great. Bray Wyatt's much better.
Oh, yeah.
So I get mad when they do Husky Harris, but like Generico, that's so it's a Canadian luchador.
Yeah.
Like, that's hilarious.
It really is.
And Sami Zayn is just another. He's a guy. He's
very talented.
So talented. Generico. He is Generico without the mask.
I mean, but this is what they did to ADR. I mean, he wore a mask for many years.
Yes, he did.
And when they hired him, they're like, forget it, not doing any of that. So
and he's made it really. I mean, I know people.
Yeah,
he has his detractors, but I'm a big ADR guy.
We haven't had an evil, Mexican millionaire, tycoon kind of guy. I mean,
great character.
Eddie Guerrero was not that style of character, and so since then we haven't had that. We've had plenty of luchadors come in and out, well, not really, but Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. But
Sure,
it's like, but we're not a. This is an American league. We're not a luchador, promotion here.
Right.
So.
And if you want to play up, Sammy's Canadian heritage, it's hard to do that as a face because let's be honest, every Canadian character most of the time has always been a heel, except of course you have Edge and Christian and everything, but. I don't know what you're right.
All the half white, half Middle Eastern Canadians out there are going to really be behind Sami Zayn.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got that crowd tight, man.
Well, before we move on from this, I think we could say one thing, that the new Bull Man is the best hype man we've seen since Oscar from Men on a Mission. So for that...
I'll give you that.
Moving on to hour 2, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley come down to the ring. They invite the entire Rhodes family, and as soon as they invite them, we wait for a couple seconds, and all of a sudden, the song we hear is American Dream. He's just a common man. Come on, Kathy.
This barbershop duo is not doing anything.
We didn't play. We'll get it.
No, me and Showtime are always on cue. All right, we're like Ja Rule and that chick. We're always on time with that stuff. You know what I mean?
But maybe not on note.
You know what? I keep it positive here, right, guys?
That sounded beautiful, Johnny.
I hear no negativity.
Unless you're talking about SmackDown, you keep it real positive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rosebuds. All right. So the Rhodes family come down to the ring, the American Dream, Dustin Runnels, otherwise known as Goldust, in the Goldust paint and a good-looking suit, and of course Cody Rhodes. And they're afraid to get in the ring. Cody steps in first, and Triple H says, "I trust you. You're as safe as any other WWE superstar. Come on into the ring. Come on into the ring."
An ironic statement. I really loved that statement.
It was a great statement.
Just like anyone else, you're totally fine, except everyone that I have beat up.
Which is everybody. And he gets in. He basically tells Dusty, he's like, you guys are looking at me mad. I mean, are you still upset, Dusty, because you just couldn't cut it? You just couldn't make it out of Florida, and even with the polka dots, and there's just really some cutting stuff. Which, I mean, and then Dusty grabbed the microphone and just, talked to the hand, and
he's a little rough with Steph every week that they've been doing the same. I mean, Steph's really taking it to him in that ring. And I don't know if he's like, because he's known her since she was a baby.
Absolutely.
And I think he's an old timer from the South. I don't think he likes a woman in authority position a little bit, maybe. I feel like he's giving her. He's just like, look, I want me and Trips right now.
Oh yeah, that hand move.
Put that hand in the face, and Steph
talk to the hand lady.
Hand on my face. I went, ooh, don't easy.
You better talk to this hand lady, because I'm not talking to your face.
Let the Huckleberries speak.
Oh yeah,
he pulled out the Doc Holliday.
He's like, "I'll be your Huckleberry." God, that's classic. And so what happens is Triple H says, and Stephanie, of course, because they're together. They said this Sunday, if Goldust and Cody beat the Shield at Battleground, they will both get their jobs back. But, and there's always a but, as Triple H says, if they lose, not only do Cody and Goldust lose their jobs, but Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, the Hall of Famer, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, and great characters and great mic men of all time, he loses his job at NXT, who has a big job at NXT, helping create characters, helping create personas. Yeah. He loses that job too. All the Rhodes is out the door.
Little problem.
Okay, Kathy.
Yes, Kathy.
Last week on NXT, Triple H relieved Dusty of his duties there.
I thought he was the GM, right? Wasn't he the GM of NXT?
Technically, he's the GM, yes, I believe.
Maybe he would still be behind the scenes training, but you were no longer the GM of the show.
He said he was going to give him some time off from NXT.
Yeah, from NXT.
That is interesting, considering they are going this route.
I wonder what. And are they still shooting NXT episodes? They must be doing it because they used to shoot them 4 in a row.
They still do that.
So they're still doing that. Well, it seems like they were pretty current with that. If he came up there last week and relieved Dusty of his duties,
I think that must have been filmed a while ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
and
maybe
they've
just
had it planned out for that long.
Switching it up again.
Yeah.
Now.
They had to go with it.
Yeah.
But
Or
Dusty's
that's his kayfabe job, and then his real job, and maybe they're tonight. I'm going to take your real job
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
I'll go with that.
They're crossing the lines of the kayfabe.
because Dusty is going to be in the corner of his sons. This is a match. I'll be honest with you. I'm as excited for this match as I think any match this weekend, because
I'm hyped for this one. This is more exciting than the title match.
Look, I mean, look at the card we've got. Ryback Punk number 8. We've seen them fight constantly on pay-per-views, but not Bully Back and not Face Punk. So it's different.
I'm not thinking about their past matches. I'm really not.
And I'm more excited about this one than RVD versus ADR again.
Sure.
How many times can we have that match? We've had that on SmackDown and Main Event a couple times already to begin with.
Yeah.
Even before they had it on the last pay-per-view.
Well, we're not done with this setup yet because the match has not officially been. Yes, it's been set up, but then what happens? Of course, the Shield comes down and they attack, and of course the Rhodes family tries to defend. Dusty even grabs a chair. He gets popped. The Shield basically destroy the Rhodes family. A triple power bomb and an amazing spear to Goldust from Roman Reigns. Good God Almighty.
That was a rough one.
And Dusty getting curb stomped. He was getting stomped out by the Shield. I'm just amazed.
He was already laying down. So.
He was laying down.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Keep him down.
Keep him down.
So no big bump there, but yeah, I'm just amazed. I think these old timers can that would hurt me.
You know what though? It's their life. You can't get it. It's never going to leave them. They're always going to be able. And a guy like Dusty Rhodes, it's always going to be able to perform.
And how excited is he to be in a segment? I mean, just to have a storyline that is the entire family together. I almost want to cry.
Years in the coming.
It's just so. I don't know, something so satisfying and exciting about it.
And I'll wait to the predictions before I give what I think is going to happen, because I think it's going to be something that's going to keep going and really get good. But we'll get to that. Next up, R-Truth versus Curtis Axel in a non-title match. So it's a go back and forth, solid match, of course. We don't know what's going to happen, although we think we might know what happens. We're like, R-Truth is going to find a way to pull this one out. Well,
Because it's a non-title match on Raw. Means the champ's got to lose.
And because Curtis Axel is not going to put that title up for anything. So, Punk's music hits, of course, distraction. R-Truth wins. Paul Heyman doesn't look very happy. R-Truth dances, hits him with the lie detector for a W. So what's going to, I mean, then, of course, later on backstage, we see R-Truth talking to Brad Maddox saying, hey, man, I want to wrestle Axel for the title. And Maddox is like, well, I'll take that into advisory. And that's all we know. So we can only assume.
Yeah, maybe SmackDown. They announce it, or
it's probably going to be on the
20 minutes before the pay-per-view.
Yeah. We already got the pre-show match, so.
I'm just thinking, I would love, what do you think, Cathy?
I'm glad that, or I would love to see Axel wrestle for the title again, but I don't really want to see it on R-Truth.
Who said that?
Wow.
What you got something wrong with R-Truth for?
Yeah, come on now. What's up?
Not that for the rapper.
Well, I don't think that it's the problem with these type of matches, and this happened at the last pay-per-view too. We were saying, like, without build-up, and I don't count tonight's one match with a distraction from Punk as a proper build-up. I don't care about this particular match to make it a pay-per-view worthy match. I think it needs more gusto to it.
It's so sad that the IC title isn't that important anymore. And it's become.
I think you really it's because you have the world title there.
Honestly, all that takes is just one good feud and it's back.
Well, I think what they should do with the Intercontinental in the U.S. is have that thing defended on TV on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Have that so that you have a champion. You don't need to do the world in the WWE. Save those for the pay-per-views like you normally do.
Okay.
But have these mid-card titles every week. You got to defend it, and you create better champions that way. Yep. Have Axel find a way of retaining, and then he can lose it at a pay-per-view. But have them actually and find ways of getting out of it. If you're a heel champion, they can beat some guys, but smack the ref or leave. Like, no, screw this. I'm not defending. I'll take the loss.
I don't like you, Stripes. Slap in the face.
That was my favorite thing when Randy Orton was facing Cena, and he knew he had the title.
Right, yep.
I loved it. He's just like, I can't beat this dude. Screw you, ref. He slaps in the face, and the ref's like, are you serious? Ring the bell.
Yeah.
And Orton's like, sorry, gotta go.
I mean, if they defend the title every single week, it's going to really be hard to have long-standing champions, but I like your point.
Even if they alternated, I mean, we
But
don't
the
see it at
champion
all.
should be the best. He should be one of the guys that can beat the people. So if you have Kofi, if you have a face, yeah, he's winning every week anyway.
Sure.
So have him, the title's on the line.
But the champion never wins, remember?
That's how you change it. That's how you change it, and make the champ win all the time. Make them important, and have people going, I want that title. No, I want it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the champ's not going to fight tonight because you two are going to fight, and then you got to face him next week. Then okay.
Right.
Boom. Now you got 2 weeks done, and you have people actually caring about the title.
Showtime Josh taking a stand.
I'm just saying.
I wish it did more bracketed things as well. Just having
tournaments,
very King of the Ring sort of situations where it would break down and get in a.
Heaven forbid we don't have a tournament for this advanced WWE Championship.
Thank you. Someone just backed me on Twitter. Stewie P said, R-Truth IC title, come on, like 2 to 3 years back, but not now.
Right. 2 to 3 years back,
well, let's be honest,
he was in the WWE title.
But guys,
race.
he's not. He was. R-Truth is not going to take the title off Axel.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think.
No.
This is a safe, but there's so many young guys that could be Intercontinental.
Biggie.
Where's Wade Barrett?
I like how you have people that are
Barrett?
tweeting you during the show, and no one's. They're tweeting Josh. Okay, got it. Cool.
I actually honestly Googled where is Wade Barrett while we were watching the show, and Google responded England.
He is currently GPS.
That's so creepy.
It's so weird. Try it out. Google.
Bing doesn't do that. Bing's not a stalker.
I heard rumors that they're repackaging him again.
Oh,
That's
God.
why we haven't seen him since he got shaved.
What's he going to be? A British guard? I mean,
I think
He might come out wearing roses.
he's not going to say anything.
You know how he always had the rose on there too?
Yeah.
He could steal
Christian's
Rosenberg's gimmick. Yeah.
It's not
that'd be
working for
great.
him.
No,
so.
Sorry,
it's not.
mate. Yeah, I saw that on the AfterBuzz.
Yeah.
I'm taking it.
There's three rosebuds in the world. They're all last names are all Rosenberg.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, we got to start steamrolling through. We got a lot more to talk about, and our predictions. That's already over halfway done. So Trish Stratus is she had a baby named Maximus. All right, a round of applause. Hooray! All right, moving on.
Stratisfaction.
MILF.
We then have a wonderful video package for Brie, Bella, and Daniel Bryan being engaged, showing their life. They've been together for 2.5 years. All right, another round of applause. Hooray! All right, we then have a singles match, Alicia Fox versus Brie Bella, and it was nice to see Alicia Fox in a singles match. And of course, Brie Bella is the #1 contender to AJ Lee this weekend. Now, I would have liked to see, now we might see this on SmackDown, it would have been nice to see AJ Lee with her new bodyguard, Tamina Snuka, show up. AJ Lee was not even on the show at all.
She was backstage. They were watching a TV.
Oh, they did show that.
It was
really
one of those quick, yeah.
One of those
she
quick
didn't say
ones.
anything. She was...
So that makes me think maybe on SmackDown, but solid match. Brie gets her with the Bella Bomb and setting herself up for the #1 contendership this Sunday.
Glad that they gave the Divas time and a lot of it tonight.
Yes.
It was honestly, I think, my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, you called it a solid match. I think it was, one of the best matches of the night. Like this, and maybe the Big E one
This
that opened, I thought
made
was
Raw
solid.
for
But
me. Raw was This match was amazing.
everything, all the moves were well placed. They nailed everything. I mean, there was a good kick out of the ring when Fox got like knocked out. It was just, I really liked this match. I was.
And
They should give the women more time.
She's one of the better girls in the back too.
Fox is arguably one of the best athletes. She is a freak in nature, man.
Several people tweeted me that they want to see a match Alicia Fox versus Naomi, and I think that would be phenomenal.
They
That
gotta
would be
work together.
so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I mean, Alicia's what? I think she's at least, was she 5'10"? She's tall.
She was a model before, right?
She's pretty tall, yeah.
I remember standing next to her, and I'm like, I should spike my hair up, because otherwise she's taller than me. Like, she's not.
Then you'll have a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So you're telling me there's a chance? But yeah, we really enjoyed that match, and it was great to see. And of course, Brie Bella is going to be taking on AJ Lee, which we'll get to our predictions in a little bit. But great to see Alicia Fox. It'd be nice to see her have a bigger role, as well as keep this whole storyline going. I think it's only going to continue after this Sunday because, of course, Total Divas doesn't come back on for another month. So this was very, very nice to see. Moving on, Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel are now backstage. And once again, this turned into a classic moment. Of course, Curtis Axel is flipping out, and he's mad, and he's like, calm down. And then Ryback comes in, and he says, hey, we're just going to give CM Punk what he wants. There's nothing to be afraid of. We'll give him what he wants. And he's like, Curtis, could you just Ryback, just go over there and get yourself something to eat.
Within a millisecond, that man was out of the room. Yeah. Get him something to eat.
And he leaves. And then he says to Curtis Axel, he said, since that man saved my life, everything has been better. My sun has been sunnier. My food tastes better. The flowers smell sweeter. My ponytail is shinier. I made a few up. But the point is, everything is better. And he said, I think tonight I'm going to propose to Ryback.
Propose?
Propose?
It's all legal, Michael.
What? Exactly. What's going to happen? We don't know, but we can't wait. We then move to another backstage segment. Big Show is talking to Renee Young, and once again, he's looking very distraught in quite a nice suit, though. No doubt about that. Renee Young asks him, how you hanging in there? What's going on? He gets obviously very frustrated. He said, look, I'm a good person, but I'm doing right by my family. I can't look Dusty Rhodes in the eye. He's one of my heroes that I looked up to. I had to knock him out. And then he almost changes. The more he talks about how frustrated he is, I love it. The more angry he gets.
It's been building up.
Oh man, he gets mad and he says, I can't even do it justice. I can't take it. Let's do it all together. 1, 2, 3. I can't take it anymore! And he runs off to go find Triple H. He says, I'm going to knock him out. And he takes off.
The big giant. Losing it, finally.
The most emotional person on Raw for years.
Yeah.
He can take it from one end to the other.
He can get angry.
We definitely know he can cry.
We know he can cry.
He is.
Well, the crying, it came a little bit later on in the show. But what a great performance!
Saw the angry giant again. I love it.
Oh man, that was fantastic. I
was hoping that we were gonna follow him walking around through the back looking for Triple H and just WMDing everyone in his path, like the crewmen, crew people, like Shawn Michaels did a few years ago when he was Sweet Chin Music. He took out Stan. It's like,
it would be really cool to have the camera follow him like it was unexpected and just like really like dirty shots the entire way, and then
I needed a couple WMDs back there.
That would have been great if everybody who had like a buzz cut, he just spun around and punched them.
Not the caterer! Like that would have been.
Sorry.
Gazpacho guy again.
Oh, the Gazpacho guy!
He's just getting murdered by everyone on Raw.
Well, actually, we're not done with show yet. We then move on to backstage once again in the office. Brad Maddox talking to R-Truth. R-Truth making his case to face Axel for the IC title. That's when Maddox is all taken into advisory. You don't see anything. All of a sudden, you see R-Truth go, okay, I'm leaving. I'll be right back or whatever. I'll talk to you later. He takes off. Show comes in. Literally just high school lockers Brad Maddox. Grab my neck, Cathy. Grab my neck. Yeah. She lifts him up. Oh, my God, Cathy. You're pulling my hair. After the show, Cathy. Keep it professional. He high school lockers him against the wall and said, where's Big Show? And he's like, Brad Maddox can't even talk. And just said, you go find Big Show, or you go find Triple H right now. Drops him.
Your necklace was too big to just like really choke you.
I learned from the greats like Flava Flav. You got to wear gold around your neck, and that's what I'm doing.
Don't be jealous.
He's wearing the World Heavyweight Predictions Championship around his neck.
Damn right I am. So once again, Show just pulling off the stops, just pulling them all out.
I love that they brought the camera back so you could actually see that he wasn't resting on anything. I mean, he was just like, he really had him up there. I was nervous a little bit.
Kudos to Maddox.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those like tricks where when you pick up a kid by their ears and you like go underneath
it. No, but it looked really good.
We learned it in theater school. I had a girl that was like 4'10" lift me up, and you just have to like hold on.
And this was during a play or in your dorm?
It was well, we practiced too.
Got it.
Practice, you know.
Cool.
But yeah, it's great. Like anyone can do it.
Hey, Charlene, you want to come to my room tonight? We got to practice. You're choking me.
It was theater school. It was theater school. Shit was happening.
All right, so once again, Big Show just the star of that entire thing. Moving on, we now have Zack Ryder versus ADR. Mexico's greatest export versus Long Island's greatest export.
You know it.
Zack Ryder didn't get an entrance, so we know he's going to win tonight.
That's right.
Yes.
Listen, Ryder.
But no, great match, but good match. You got a broski boot in, almost pulled off the Rough Rider.
Made him look good.
Yeah, he looks good. This is the third time we've had him on TV in a row when it comes to Raw, SmackDown, Raw. I mean, this could be a thing for him, at least in Ryder world.
If they're
I think this is a good.
Enough people are injured where Zack Ryder's finally getting.
He looks good though.
I'm glad that he's finally getting time.
He's always great in the ring. It's just a matter of what they want to do.
He's had time to work out though as well.
His neck
seems like he looks swole.
He's doing that neck machine where you do flexion left and right. You know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't know what's going to happen with his character. They don't let him talk at all anymore.
If he's not going to get a push, I think he'd be a great candidate for the family as well. Like not a Kofi, but if you want to get a good guy, Ryder would.
He's so goofy.
You know, I'm really upset that they canceled his show on YouTube. It was so successful.
What, the Z long?
Yeah, no, I don't understand why, if they have him and they're paying him, why not have that show on YouTube? Because it was so successful. I mean, it got money for them. It was bringing in money.
I thought it was his.
It was his own thing.
It was his baby though.
He created it.
I thought that they owned it by default.
They absorbed it. Yeah. I mean, that was the reason they kind of, I mean, besides the fact that everything's moving towards YouTube, but he was what got their eye on the YouTube space.
Exactly.
Like, oh, we should probably do something.
And so then since he was their talent at the time, they were like, well, this is our show. We own it since you're under contract with us. And then after, I think their YouTube contract was expiring or something, they ended Zack Ryder's show. They ended Ziggler's show. When those were wildly successful. Yeah. I don't understand why you would stop something.
Because it was their idea, and it was their doing, like, hey, we're doing this on our days off. And they're like, wait, we didn't plan for you two to have such big pushes here among the crowds.
Everyone knows.
So we're going to kill it because we own you. We want our guys.
That's such backwards thinking, though.
It's so bad. But it's wrestling.
That's what got
all the time.
Zack Ryder got himself over. That's what happened.
Yeah. He did.
To his credit, it's not easy to do. But it was just very smart on his end. I mean, it's the same way, you know, Cole Cabana has got himself over without even being in the WWE. Just because he's a brilliant mind and he comes up with really clever stuff and he's crossed over into the comedy world and everything. So Zack Ryder found a way to do that with YouTube and his show, which is very entertaining over the last couple of years. So,
but if you follow him on Twitter, he has said disparaging things about the show still running before. He's always been like, oh, it's because it was at episode like 100 and something for him. So maybe he could have just been tired of doing it. Maybe it was just like him in his room with his dad.
He hit 1 million followers. It's like, hey.
And to be fair, they gave him the U.S. title, right? And he had a good run there, but maybe they thought like it died out, like just like with Ziggler, like they won't make it in the long run, so we're just gonna kill him right now or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything has a good run, and unfortunately, most things do come to an end, just like the match did when ADR locked him in the cross arm breaker. ADR moves on to face RVD, but we will find out a little bit from RVD later on in the show. Of course, we have an Extreme Rules match coming up for the World Heavyweight Championship. Once again, we go to, oh boy, this is the special one. Ryback's music hits after, of course, we pay homage to all the breast cancer survivors, Susan G. Komen, so God bless them. Ryback's music hits, which is odd music to hit after talking about women with breast cancer. So Ryback comes out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman calls himself an expert in political science and just says that he's been thinking long and hard about doing something, and that's when Ryback just ever so gently just caresses the cheek of Cathy Yes And. Have you ever heard of Yes And? Ryback caresses the cheek of Paul Heyman.
You choked him. It only seems fair.
Yeah, I know. I can't caress your cheek after you choke me.
No, it's not how this relationship works.
It's a weird set of rules you got on that side of the table.
What about the back of the hand? Is the back of the hand?
Yeah, that word. Okay.
Like that?
Yeah, this doesn't feel right. He looks at Paul Heyman and says, I'll do anything for you, Paul. I will do anything for you. And Paul Heyman says, you know, I ran this by my children. I want to make a commitment in sickness and health till death do us part. And he gets on one knee and holds his hand.
And everyone's chanting, no,
yeah.
no. Oh.
Yeah. Just it was a moment.
And Ryback's face.
Oh, it was adorable.
Oh my God, it was perfect.
It's like he was given a puppy.
They were trying to steal Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella's thunder.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The engagement thunder.
Brilliant.
And they did, kind of. They really did. Holding hands, it says, Ryback, will you become a Paul Heyman guy? And the crowd goes nuts. Then all of a sudden, the cult of personality hits. CM Punk's music, and guess what happens?
I had never seen Ryback smile so big.
Isn't it great? Oh,
like,
man.
Who knew?
The biggest smile. He looked like his eyes were glazed over.
Yeah.
Just one more great addition to the Ryback-ness, the bully back, man.
Yeah, he'd literally just gotten a puppy on Christmas.
He's like an onion. He has so many layers.
Oh, Cathy.
That wasn't meant to be
and
a
he's
joke.
a little
That was
stinky.
meant to be really, yeah, that too.
So adorable. So Punk's music hits. They're waiting for him. Where is he at? He's not coming down the ramp. He's not coming from the crowd. All of a sudden, Punk jumps over the barricade and lands awkwardly on his right knee. And for a good 2-3 minutes, we're worried. We're like, oh my God, he literally popped his knee. This is bad news. He landed wrong on it. What's happening? Even Ryback's concerned. Paul Heyman's concerned. Punk crawls over to the ring. Heyman walks over to him to see if he's okay. Out comes the kendo stick.
Keno stick.
I was very, very concerned. Like, I literally was panicked. I mean, Cathy and I were, like, grabbing each other, pretty much. It was like, what's going on?
I was choking Dale.
Yes, she would not let me grab her, so Dale, yes.
But it was really good. I haven't been fooled like that in a while.
It went on just long enough. There was no one talking, which was, you know, like...
Always a sign.
Then you kind of, in your mind, I automatically thought, I was like, okay, no one's talking. They don't know what to say.
They don't know what to happen.
There's nothing written down, so they can't recover from this.
Yeah.
They're kind of confused as to whether he needs medical attention or... And then the fact that, you know, no one was going to him from the ring.
Yeah,
either.
Heyman and Ryback were just standing
awkward.
there.
And then I saw, I think JBL, there was a quick flash of him on commentary, and he was like talking to someone in his mic, like something is off.
Well done.
And then bam.
And this was like something very similar to the Mark Henry retirement speech.
Exactly.
Because I'm sitting here going, oh no, this is really happening, and then okay, this is a work. This is a work.
Yep.
All right, it's going really long now. Oh, it might not be a work, and then y'all a bunch of puppets.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was.
And just takes out everyone. He got a shot at on Heyman, got a shot at on Axel, got a shot on Ryback. Ryback and Heyman, they hightail it out of there. He puts enough splinters in Axel to build a treehouse. Just slams him.
Chunks of the stick were flying to the front row.
Yeah.
Hit two ladies.
They can't see now.
My God.
Exactly. Nails him with the GTS. He's ready for this Sunday.
By the way, he was sticking those GTSs. We didn't mention it, but Big E took a great GTS.
Yeah.
Great reaction to the GTS too, and same with Axel. He's throwing out some good GTSs.
It's a lot of GTSs for a night.
Stiff ones, stiff knees to the face.
I mean, you could break a nose so easy on that move. I mean, he's done it a couple times in the past, so I always get worried when he does it, but he's so
I don't know how
good.
to do it.
So good.
Exactly. GTS out this Sunday. Ryback versus Punk.
I'm excited for this now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just because the way I brought it, just the way I said it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
After you caressed her face.
Yeah, well, there's more where that came from, Kathy. The Shield then takes on Ziggler and the Usos, and in a match that, anytime you got these 6 involved, it's going to be solid. After Ziggler actually nails the zigzag on Seth Rollins, another spear.
And the Ziggle Wiggle. He nailed the Ziggle Wiggle when he came out.
Got that Ziggle Wiggle. And it's pink.
Why would they change his shirt when it's already pink?
It wasn't breast cancer awareness pink.
Yeah, no, it was.
It said you can or something like that.
Yes.
Right?
Some people know the difference between salmon and pink, so I think
and peach.
Ziggler is one of those.
Yeah.
But he looked the least awkward tonight wearing the pink because it's part of his.
It works for
his
him.
color.
It works
palette,
for him.
Yeah.
But man, Roman Reigns just spearing everybody tonight, and now the one on Goldust was great. This spear on Ziggler, was fantastic. The Shield pulls out the W.
Yeah, Usos looked a little off at one point. Like he did a high kick, a super kick. I think it was Jimmy kicked Reigns like in the rib or the hip of the side.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey man, I'm doing it, and it's like, dude, like you just kicked me, like wow, that might have really hurt. And then he just pushes like Reigns like out of the ring, but they got it together.
Yeah.
And I mean those three, I mean God. I mean, everyone in that ring is so good. And I just can't get over, I got in the ring again on Wednesday night with Clum.
Hey.
And Kendrick came in and helped me out too, but I'm sitting here going, I still have bruises on my scapulas, my shoulder blades, from
all over your scapulas?
All over them, man.
Oh, God.
And I think it's either from the bumps or the freaking ropes. I still, I'm like, the ropes
rope
hurt
burns.
so much because it's cable. It's a cable. Wrapped in tape, it's nothing.
Sure.
And so when I see these guys jumping over into the aisle like the Usos do, I'm just like, how are y'all?
I know.
It's amazing.
I'm dumbfounded. Like I said, as a physical therapist, I love the art of professional wrestling that much more, just because I know everything about the body. And when you see what these guys do and get up from it every single night, regardless of whether you're in the WWE or if you're in the Indies. If you're doing it, it's impressive, and you got to have respect for it. Not enough people do because they're ignorant to what the guys are really doing.
Oh, it's all fake. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like a trampoline. It's a mat.
It's just insane. Completely insane. And so, but you're right. I mean, these 6 guys involved, and I also like the fact the Shield wins, and they brought up a great point. They're like, the Shield's so cohesive. How are the Rhodeses going to win on Sunday? They haven't wrestled together. The Shield have done nothing but wrestle together. Just sets up that match really well. Really, really well. We move backstage. The Big Show is in the office waiting for Triple H, smells the fake flowers, tosses them off to the side. Bunch of cops come in, but then Stephanie McMahon comes in, saves the day, says, police officers, yes, officers, yes, Big Show has been doing a lot of damage lately, but he has a big mortgage payment coming up. So you know what? I can vouch for the Big Show. He's okay. He's safe. And the cops just stand there and watch. And she says, speaking of which, Big Show, I did talk to your wife today, and she says you haven't quite been measuring up in other departments as well.
Damn!
They all walk away.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
So I know we talk about how when they bring it back home and they use the real stuff to just,
dig.
Yeah.
dig.
Right.
It's usually better. This wasn't that.
I thought this one came out of nowhere. I was like, what does that have to... Why are you...
Now they're digging.
Okay.
They're not digging anymore. They're digging.
Well, you gotta remember, though, the fact that maybe there's a good chance Steph just made that up just to pick... You know what I mean? Like, even... Because why would Big Show's wife say that? She's
obviously
pushing buttons. So I know what you're saying.
I agree with Kathy. They've been so dead on with all these zingers. They've been like, and take this because that's 100% true.
Because it
and
really
take this.
hurts.
Yeah, but this one was like, and I'm in the 7th grade. I don't know. It was like, I don't know. It was like a weird size joke. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
You have bad breath.
It was it was a weird way to end something so strong.
Yeah.
Not the way a corporate lady should be speaking.
And also, how many times has someone been threatened on WWE and there haven't been cops involved?
It's wrestling. That's all we do is threaten each other. That's part of my job.
Yeah. Who knew there was police in Mississippi? Well, the cops in Mississippi have nothing else to do. Might as well show up.
You really don't like Mississippi.
I've never been. No, I've never been. I'm not saying anything bad about Mississippi. It's probably a wonderful state. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Highest obesity rate in Mississippi.
In the country?
I think so.
No, sir.
Mississippi.
I'll raise you Houston and Philadelphia in obesity.
No, Houston is a city.
Those aren't states, but
oh, in states you're saying?
Yeah. Mississippi is state.
The highest is the fattest state as a whole. I mean, I think
don't know. Year after year they usually win.
Is
Mama June Boo Boo from Mississippi? What state are they from?
They play a lot of football in Texas though. They actually have sports.
Yeah. Where's Mama June from?
Mississippi has sports too.
Where's Honey Boo Boo from? Mississippi or Arkansas?
Well, that ain't gonna
I don't
prove
know.
nothing.
But wherever she's from, that's a fat state. All right. So, Big Show sits down. He gets angry.
I learn all my facts on TV.
He stands up to the Triple H poster and knocks a hole through the King of Kings poster, just right through the plaster.
Whoever set up that poster didn't look for a stud.
Yeah.
Amateur hour over there.
That would have sucked if he did hit a stud. Good God.
Bring the house down, literally.
So once again, we get Renee Young, this time backstage with RVD, and they actually show the top 10 extreme RVD YouTube highlights dating all the way back to his ECW days. Just crazy stuff that RVD did, a lot of it Sabu. And RVD says, ADR doesn't know hardcore. We have an Extreme Rules match. This is my kind of match. And if you want to talk about hardcore, there's only one translation, and that's Rob. Bam. Damn. Setting it up for Sunday night.
Going from hardcore.
It's amazing watching all those videos from like 20 years ago, and he looks the same.
He does look the same, though.
He sleeps in a
That
chamber
reefer
of
man.
some kind.
It keeps you a miracle drug.
He sleeps in a chamber made of hemp, and it works.
A hemp sleeping bag. It's just one giant joint.
You got a hemp comforter. Oh, this feels so good. It's so warm every single night, dude. All right, on to another this could we say this maybe was the most entertaining possibly match of the evening, because anytime you have Antonio Cesaro and Santino Marella involved, something good is going to happen. Of course, Santino comes down with Hornswoggle and the Great Khali. Cesaro comes down with Zeb and with Jack Swagger. Zeb says something against Mississippi. Says if you can't live it something or other, Mississippi, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't like Mississippi.
Mississippi is the fattest state. I just looked it up.
Is it really?
About 32.5% of the adult residents are obese.
That's a third. Oh, my God.
Yep.
Josh Padgett with the facts.
Good job, Showtime.
So you can learn stuff on TV.
Yeah.
Or on AfterBuzz.
On AfterBuzz TV.
We teach you. Stay in shape, kids. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
The more you know.
All right, so thank you, Steven. So we talked about on SmackDown, actually, during Raw they showed it, that Antonio Cesaro did an airplane spin to Titus O'Neil, a massive professional athlete.
How many? 26 times?
20-something.
20-something times.
I don't know how he done did it.
I don't know, but
and
tonight...
he's not dizzy at all.
No, it's amazing. And tonight he topped it. He spun Santino, I believe, 28 times. Santino got up and went to attack and then fell back down in perfect Santino fashion.
It was great. That velocity was a lot quicker, too. He was like...
Yep. Lost the Cobra, but then somehow Santino accidentally gets a roll-up for the win.
It was like a really weird rock bottom like Kimura lock tight or not Kimura lock. What's Punk's thing? What's his submission?
Oh, the Anaconda Vice.
Anaconda Vice. It was like a weird and he pushed his and Cesaro didn't even look mad.
No.
He just was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Just destroyed this dude.
All that spinning.
I'm better than this.
It's gonna be a new thing though.
Yeah.
That airplane.
Those two together will be magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was tonight.
I love it.
I can't wait to see more.
New flags.
I almost want to see Santino try to get into the Real Americans, and they just keep shunning him.
I want to be in the Real Americans. Like, are you kidding me? Get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
He brings in Subway sandwiches every
Meanwhile,
I got green card.
Meanwhile, one of the Real Americans has a stronger accent than Santino Marella does. Kind of makes sense.
True.
He keeps trying to impress him.
That would be hilarious.
I would like that. They need to do something. I would like to get something going on for the Real Americans. I feel like they're kind of just placeholding right now.
Cesaro is there something going on?
Yeah, well, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Well, we thought they'd be wrestling Los Matadores, but that didn't happen tonight.
Well, I don't think that's how you kick it off, because you're going to lose that match. I'd rather see a feud than just a one-off. So I think they're holding out.
We then move into the final segment of Monday Night Raw. You know something is going to happen. Jerry Lawler in the ring brings out the two superstars that are up for the abeyance WWE title. Daniel Bryan out first, followed by Randy Orton. And Daniel Bryan had a great line in this segment when he says, I never needed anyone's motivation to reach my full potential, whereas Randy Orton needed that motivation from Triple H. That's why the title is in abeyance, all that stuff. Great line by Daniel Bryan there. But, you know, Orton, to his credit, comes back with a low blow, saying that Brie Bella, his new fiance, is sleeping with a barnyard animal. Hee-haw.
It's funny. And Daniel Bryan won't go have none of that.
No, he attacks.
You can call me a troll.
Yeah.
You can spit in my face, but you're not going to call me a barnyard animal.
And it became when animals attack real quick.
Didn't he call him a goat before?
Yeah, but
Which is a barnyard animal.
It is. But now you're including like hogs,
everything,
sheep.
Yes,
that was just his face. He was a goat face troll. But now the whole body, you know, he works real hard.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely. And Bryan attacked, and the whole thing was done fantastically. Outside of the ring, they're brawling back and forth. Of course, Orton gets the upper hand. Brie Bella comes down to the ring. She's concerned. Orton lines him up, feet hanging off the apron. Lines him up for the DDT. Just stares at Brie while she looks unworried. DDTs Daniel Bryan on the floor. And we're not done yet. He then takes the monitors out. You know when the monitors are coming out, all hell's about to break loose. The announcers stand up. He gets Daniel Bryan on top of that announcer's table. RKO through the table.
That looks so painful.
Oof. Yes. Yeah. To both parties.
Both.
Yeah, I did not.
That looked about
more, Randy, maybe.
It looked about as painful as Punk going through that table last week.
Yeah.
Maybe not as
that
painful.
Looked more painful.
That looked worse.
Oh, because I missed it.
And that was on cement.
I so appreciate, though, bringing real life into the storylines.
Sure.
Like I said it earlier on the show, but it just, like, it adds an extra element.
You have to. Total Divas is doing that.
I know.
To a certain
but
extent.
It's great. Like, they should have done it a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my only fear with it is I don't want it to be like too Kim Kardashian, where it becomes like,
yeah, right,
we're doing this just for show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not that I think that that's where this is going.
So you don't want them to fake things outside of WWE.
Yeah, I don't want it to be conveniently timed with the season finale of season part 2 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I hope they don't.
And if any Kardashians ever show up on Raw, I will throw up.
You don't remember Kim Kardashian hosted WrestleMania 24?
But that was before I even know who she was. I didn't loathe her whole family.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
It was quite a difference.
Yeah.
Our boss, Maria Menounos, loves the Kardashian family.
Oh.
Dearly.
Okay.
But cool that she was hosting WrestleMania.
No, it's great. Look, hey, if we can't give our opinions about reality shows, then what can we give our opinions about? You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly what we do.
I'm not saying I have no problem. My problem's with Kris Jenner. I think. Wait, I'm not gonna say.
Momature.
I just wish that tonight, and I understand, like, Randy Orton is a very dangerous man. And I like that they were including the history of what he's done to the McMahon family, what he's done to women. Like, he's punted Steph.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
So it's like,
he's
I
also
understand,
DDT'd as well.
So it's like, I understand why Brie wasn't jumping in there, Pocahontasing that shit, you know, like, oh, stop, leave him alone, because then he's gonna be like, all right, well, you're getting knocked out too tonight. That would be good for business if I saw Brie get clocked. And maybe we're past that. We can't do that. We're not in the ruthless aggression period.
Well, don't
anymore.
forget she's also wrestling Sunday for the Divas Championship. And,
man, and wouldn't that would come into effect with the AJ match? Like, oh, I got punted. You know, I can't even wrestle, or maybe I'm going to try, and then AJ gets a clean, easy win.
Don't forget how distracted is Brie going to, because you know the Divas match is going to happen before the Daniel. How distracted is she going to be into that match?
Oh yeah, they might have a backstage segment. No, babe, don't worry about me. You do your match. You do it well.
Yep.
Right. Maybe even like you can't even punt Brie, but maybe she runs in there and he just grabs her and pushes her. All you gotta do is push her on her butt, right on the mat. And in the PG era right now, that would be a huge deal. Like, oh my God, he just put his hands on his fiance, his future wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like when the Big Show knocked out AJ back when she was dating Daniel Bryan. That was a huge deal. Remember that? Accidentally bumped into her?
They're trying to be even more PG as of late, so I don't see any of that happening.
Susan G. Komen, get off me, woman! Boom,
man.
You know? Like right on the night, everybody got pink rope, and he punts a girl right on there. It's like not so great towards the charity we're going.
Hashtag capital letters.
They told him to be crazy.
But maybe push her. I'd be fine with just a push. Like, get off of here, little girl.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Randy Orton, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen on SmackDown, but Randy Orton sure as hell has the upper hand right now because he just destroyed
him.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
A kidnapping would be great, too. I mean, kidnap Brie. That'd be great.
Well, that could come down the road, perhaps.
Yeah.
Go marry her first.
We get that. Yes.
Because Randy,
like Triple H did
and then
that,
they could bring in the real life thing about Orton being divorced. He's single now.
Uh-huh.
They could repackage Wade Barrett as a minister.
Minister
Sorry,
Barrett.
I don't know.
That would be good.
Trying to bring him in somehow.
The Reverend Barrett.
You all blessed.
Yeah.
And then he'll give you a haircut afterwards.
Yeah. God save the Queen.
Could be an Elvis impersonating one.
Yeah.
That marries them. I don't know if that would work.
Coming up with great ideas.
Yeah, maybe we'll work on these some more.
We have a little bit of time left. I think it's time that we give our predictions for the matches that we know are going to happen this Sunday on Battleground.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
I'm seeing the future.
I'll be honest. I'm so up in the air on these. I'm not feeling like a confident champion right now, guys. I'll be honest with you right now.
I didn't even look at the matches before, so I'm just.
Well, to be honest, they just came up with some.
Yeah.
Instead of going like, do you want to go ladies first, or you want to think about it while I go to them?
I don't care about thinking about it because I'm gonna lose anyways. So.
Okay then. Starting off with Cathy in the
Talks like a
pre-show.
champ.
We have Dolph Ziggler versus Damian Sandow. Cathy, what say you?
Ziggler.
Okay. Do you want to do all your matches
Yeah,
first?
I'll do Ziggler, AJ, Del Rio.
Make sure you mark these down, Cathy. Type them in.
I'll remember. Ziggler, AJ, Del Rio. It's great because we're taping this as well, so I can just go back.
That's a good point.
Shield. Orton or Bryan? Shoot. I'm gonna go with Bryan, but then somehow it doesn't. It gets like.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Punk
And then
Ryback?
Punk.
Okay, going Punk. Moving on to. Do you have any comments on that? Or those two picks?
No, I just made those up.
Okay. Cathy Kelley, everyone.
Good job.
Showtime, Josh. I see you deep in thought. Should I go to Dale first?
Don't hurt yourself.
Go ahead.
All right.
To your superhero tag team partner over there. Looks like you guys are about to have a onesie pajama party as soon as the show is over.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I mean, that's stupid.
Microwave s'mores for everybody. All right, so Dale, Ziggler, Sandow, pre-show.
I gotta go with Ziggler. Gotta go with Ziggler.
Gotta go Ziggs.
I would also take Brie over AJ.
Are you?
I think we're gonna get a happy, engaged couple on Raw.
We're going to have a new Divas title. Wow, new Divas title. Okay, it's a solid pick.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
RVD Del Rio.
Come on, ADR.
Okay. Cody Rhodes.
I mean, RVD's not
Goldust.
sticking around that much more, right?
We don't know.
Possibly. It seems like.
Who knows?
He's taking a break, maybe.
His contract is up October 1st, and his contract allegedly is a 90-day 90-day work, 90-day off, 90-day work, 90 days off. So his 90 days is up October 1st. So
I don't think so.
Good point, Dale. The Rhodes is versus the Shield, Dale.
Oh, Rhodes, 100%.
Wow, all right.
Did you pick Shield, Cathy?
She did.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate
did.
that.
I don't want it to happen, but I think it's going to.
Okay. And
With your head instead of your heart, I see.
Ryback and Punk.
Gosh, it's got to be Punk.
Okay.
He lost last pay-per-view.
I gotcha. Lastly, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan for the Abeyance WWE title.
I'm going to go with Bryan. I really want that happy couple on Raw the next day. They're
right.
celebrating an engagement. They're celebrating their wins. They're now his and her champs.
People don't like happy couples, though.
You bring up a great point. That could happen. That could happen.
I do.
All right.
I do, too.
Showtime Josh, still in deep thought over there, but buddy, your time is up.
All right.
Ziggler, Sandow.
Ziggler.
Wow, everyone's going Ziggler. Jesus.
Yeah, I think because Sandow can still do his shtick of,
Sure.
I lost to Ziggler, but I'm still Money in the Bank, champion.
Brie versus AJ for the Divas title.
Go with AJ.
Okay.
The distractions will be too much, and she's got a snook in her corner.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Tamina ain't no joke.
No, she ain't no joke. RVD Del Rio.
ADR.
You know it. Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus The Shield with the jobs on the line.
Believe in the Shield!
He does. He's going with The Shield.
How in the world are these two guys going to beat the Shield? Shield been doing this all the time. Now they're brothers. Brother got brother connection.
Yeah.
Goldust ain't no spring chicken.
Right. They stay working together, that Shield.
Unless they had so many people interfere where the rest of the locker room comes out and they're like...
Yeah.
But I think that this storyline hasn't kind of finished.
But you have the interference, then Triple H can say, oh, it was interference, I'm throwing it. Now, this is going to be a long... I think Vince or Shane, somebody's got to show up and reinstate them later down the line. This thing's going to last for a long time.
That's a very big prediction. Shane's going to come out.
Oh, no. I'm going out. No. Wait till you see my prediction. I got an even weirder one. Ryback Punk.
That was a tough one. I'm going to go, it's a pay-per-view, and Ryback don't win at pay-per-views usually, so I got to go with Punk.
Right. He won one. He did win one.
Okay. I think he's technically won like 3. I couldn't tell you. I looked it up.
He just won Money in the Bank versus Jericho, as far as I can remember.
WWE title, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan, bro.
Oh, and that's going to be Randy Orton.
Okay. There you go. I like how we all have different picks here. This is going to be very interesting. All right. Any thoughts before I go to mine?
I said my piece.
You said your piece?
I'm your Huckleberry. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you are my Huckleberry. All right. I got to go Ziggler as well with my pick. Brie and AJ, I am going AJ, and I believe she's going to win because Tamina is going to take a coconut to Brie's head. Just like Roddy Piper done her daddy back in the day.
That would be awesome if she would start doing
Turning the coconut on, the thing that was used against her dad. She starts, I don't know.
That'd be really cool.
Throw stuff out there.
That's a bold statement.
RVD Del Rio, I mean, come on, got to go Del Rio with that one. The Rhodeses versus the Shield. Now, I will say this. I believe the Shield is going to win, and all the Rhodeses are going to lose their job. But I believe we're then going to see some masked crusaders, known as the Midnight Riders, where we all know who they are, but they don't tell anyone who they are. They start showing up. They start wreaking havoc to the point where that storyline just keeps on building. Just like the Midnight Rider daddy back in the day, there's going to be 3 of that Midnight Riders now. That's what I think.
I do like that.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
Wouldn't that be entertaining as all heck? And, of course, one of the Midnight Riders has gold skin. Okay. We're in.
I mean... You don't know all the Midnight Riders.
That's how you keep this going. Because how great was that when the Rhodeses showed up, and beat up the Shield?
Yeah,
fantastic.
That was great.
Because they start doing, what did the Shield use? They would always show up and beat people up. Well, now the Midnight Riders they come into town.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you. I knew you'd be proud of that one.
Well done.
All right, Ryback and Punk. I am going to say Punk wins the match, but they get one over on Punk. They end up beating him up. Paul Heyman asks once again. Ryback accepts the Paul Heyman guy wedding invitation. They have a reception. Curtis Axel does the catering. All right, moving on.
Is there any stipulation on that match? There's no stipulation
not
this
that
time,
I know
right?
of.
It's just
Not
a
that
straight
I know
up. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. I am going to say Orton wins because of interference from the Big Show. He says he wants Triple H, but when it comes down to it, family, a mortgage, his life takes control of everything, and he goes back to doing what he hates to do. And that is helping out Triple H and Randy Orton.
I agree with Big Show being involved. I don't know if it'll go that way, but I do think he will affect the outcome one way or the other.
We'll see what happens. And, of course, maybe a few matches will be added on SmackDown. We don't know, but those are our predictions. What are yours? Let us know. Tweet them at us. Guys, that's the show. Cathy Kelley, put yourself over, my dear.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley.
Showtime Josh Padgett.
I'm Showtime Josh on Twitter. Hit me up on Iconic ITV on Tuesday nights.
Absolutely. And Dale Rutledge.
I am the walking Dale on Twitter.
Oh, man, look at you, boy. Yeah. I am at J Quasto. Also go to www.thethumbwrestler.com. Check out my film. Donate to a good cause. I'm trying to help pediatric cancer. Trying to help fight pediatric cancer, I should say. So please go to that website. Otherwise, we'll see you next week, guys. This is the Raw After Show on AfterBuzz TV. Make sure you download us on iTunes because you can listen to us anytime you want. We'll see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Best in the world.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.